Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, aka BGFH, and I am back for another accessible iOS app video. So if you are blind or visually impaired and you have an iPhone, I would highly recommend looking into this app. Today we are looking at something called Seeing AI. It is a new app that just came out for free on the iOS App Store. It is from Microsoft, believe it or not. The app came out on Wednesday. They teased it about a year ago. They had this video where they showed this guy doing a whole bunch of tasks, like identifying a menu or like reading text on a menu in a restaurant. He was in a meeting and using either the phone or smart glasses, he could identify like the people that are in the room, or snap a picture of someone and be like, 30-year-old female looking happy, or whatever. It would tell some traits about the person. Like you could see, like if somebody, let's say you were in a meeting, you wanted to know if they looked interested or bored or whatever. And all kinds of different things. And it looked really cool. It was really presented well. But I'm like, okay, but how realistic is that? How long are we going to have to wait for something like that? Well, Seeing Assistant, or I keep calling it Seeing Assistant, Seeing AI just came out on Wednesday. I've been putting it through its paces, doing a lot of different things with it over the last couple days, and it's pretty cool. There's some things that it does, I think, really well, and there's a couple things that really need some work, and we're going to look at those right now. So let's jump right in. I have been having some issues with recording. I've actually tried recording this stupid video like 2-3 times already, and I've had different issues each time. So hopefully this time's the charm. So let's go into Seeing AI. Now I'm going to pause announcements here because so basically what this is, it is a combination. It is a camera app that is kind of like a camera multi-tool for the blind and visually impaired. It uses a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence that Microsoft is really working on and putting a lot of attention toward to do a lot of cool things. Now, a lot of these tasks, there's apps that do a lot of these things already to varying degrees. So let's look at the overall layout of the app, and then I'll talk about the different channels or tasks that we can do. So the top left corner, we got a menu button, and in the upper right, we have a quick help button that just kind of pops up a little help dialog for whatever screen we're on. Then you have a main viewfinder area, which is the bulk of the screen, and depending on what mode you're in, there's some areas that you do like a live camera feed, and then there's aspects of it where you take a picture, and depending on what mode you're in, sometimes in the bottom middle you'll have a pause or resume announcements button, which is very helpful. And below that you have your channel selector, and it's kind of like a switcher, like where you touch on it.
Channel, short text, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So it's like a switcher where you've got the tabs across the bottom kind of, but it's treated like a switcher. So you focus on it with voiceover, and then you flick up and down to select the different channels. So we have short text right now, which is what we're on, and that's where it'll take live view of text. So it's good for shorter things, like you see a sign, you want to look at a business card, you want to look at a label, you want to look at just any kind of short thing. This is really interesting actually as a low vision user, because over the last couple of days I've walked around the office and just been paying more, or even just around the area, and I've been paying more attention to the various text that I see around me. So I've actually read signage and little things on the wall that I've never even paid attention to before, just because I never really had a need, or just didn't want to read it because it was too small or whatever. So I've discovered a lot of little things in the building. And then earlier today I went out for lunch across the street, and again paid attention to a lot of things, and I learned a lot. I read some signage on a building. I looked at in the restaurant. I looked at there was some kind of a a marquee thing outside, and it was advertising that they had some office space available for rental. So you had that. As I was walking by some parked cars, it even picked up on a little bit from somebody's license plate. So, it's going to be very useful. Like, especially, as that video teased when they released it last year, when this thing gets eventually paired, ultimately this is what's going to happen is it'll be paired with some kind of smart glasses. And that's going to be really cool because then I don't have to pull my phone out of the pocket. I could start the app, or I could just have the app paired with the glasses, however it'll work. And I could do a tap or a gesture on these glasses and be like, oh, I want to read a print. Or if I'm in a crowded room, I can identify somebody or whatever. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what other modes we have, or channels. Document. This is where you do like your longer document, like your full page document OCR. Product. This is where you can do barcode identification. And let me tell you, this works really well. I know other blind and visually impaired people have had some problems. There's other apps that do it. I've been recommending Digitize for quite some time. Haven't been able to record it because for whatever reason, whenever I try mirroring and I launch the app, the thing just croaks, it just crashes, and I can't do anything with it. So haven't been able to show that to you guys. But as far as barcodes go, I think this is actually better than Digitize. I really do. So far, at least from what I've had great luck with it so far. And I'll show you that to you shortly too.
Channel.
Person. This is where this gets kind of cool. You can identify, kind of like how your camera roll, like when you take with the camera app, it'll say like one person in frame or two people. But you can go further. You can train it to recognize actual people. So if you have friends or family or people that you want it to get to know, then when you're moving your camera around, it'll be like, oh, there's Jesse, or oh, there's Bob, or Cindy, or whoever. And that's really cool. It does work. I have done this. And then the last channel,
Person. Scene beta.
Scene beta, and this is the one that needs the most work. But if you've watched, I think I've released it for you guys, the video on Identify, IDENTIFI. If you haven't watched that video, if I've already released it, definitely go check that one out because that is a neat little app. And what it does, you take a picture and it describes kind of what's in the scene. And I've had some really interesting, good results with that. And you can tell it's definitely beta because I have not had good luck with the scenes section of this app of Seeing AI. I have not had great luck with it at all. It's been vague at best and really messed up at worst. So let's go back and look at these in more detail. But before we do, let's go into settings.
Menu. Close button.
Or let's go into the menu button. So
Face recognition.
the first thing we have is face recognition. This is where you go if you want to train the app to recognize an actual person so that when you go into the person channel, it can recognize that person with the live camera. So if I were to go to this image or this face recognition, what you do is you take 3 different pictures of somebody and then you give them a name. And then hopefully if you've taken some good pictures, when you encounter them in the live view, the live person view, then you will see them and it'll say their name, and I'll demonstrate that here shortly. I have done that for a couple people around the office, myself and I think 1 or 2 other people. And then I tried a little bit of an experiment, partly just out of curiosity and partly for this video so I could demo it a little bit more. But let's keep going through this menu here. Help, this is just all of your help in one place.
Feedback button.
Feedback, you can give them feedback, which I haven't done yet, but I probably will at some point.
Settings button.
Settings and
About button.
and about. Now settings, there's really not much there right now. There's only one item right now.
Back button.
And the only setting we have is
Manage lighting. Switch button on.
manage lighting. So this is kind of like an auto focus or like an auto flash. So like, oh, if you're in low light, it's going to detect when you take a picture. It's going to try to turn the light on or off. And that's really about it. So let's get out of here and let's actually do some
Close button.
image stuff, shall we? So, let's back out.
Menu button.
And we're just going to go down the list. So let's go way back.
Document short text. Short text.
We'll go to the short text. Now I'm going to grab. I'm surprised it hasn't turned the light on. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to grab this box.
Be nature. Potatoes. Naturally flavored. For bacon and artificially flavored. 8 flavored. Bacon. 8 flavored. Sliced.
Okay.
Bacon. 8 flavored. Potatoes. Cup. Bacon. Naturally artificially flavored.
Now I can take 2 fingers and go. Shut up.
Bacon.
Now I'm going to get this out of my way. Now let's do a fresh image here.
Bacon. Bacon. Naturally and artificially flavored. Dissection at 1. Stir cups. Hot. 2. TADLESP66 at Zoo Beauty and G. Potatoes.
I'm getting a little bit of glare because of the flash. And here's the thing. So I'm going to pause. Pause. The thing that I would say about the live mode, for me, I really like it because I can focus things in pretty quickly. I can look at the viewfinder as a low vision user, and I can be like, okay, let's try to get that in the center as quickly as I can. If you don't have that capability, because you have very little to no vision, what you might have to do is, like, if you can tell that it's only reading part of it, or it's cutting it off, or you're getting a chunk of it, you can take your 2 fingers and tap, your little silence gesture, since VoiceOver is what's reading it. And then what you can do is basically reorient it a little bit, and as soon as it moves into text, hey, okay, there's something new here, it almost will instantly try to take care of it and try to read it again. So that is your short mode. Let's go to, actually, let's try it again. And let's try to, I'm going to look at my iPad here.
Empowering blind and low vision. Apple produces and related applications. Apple VTS. Submit content. Forum. Blog. Podcasts. iOS, Mac OS. Apps. Welcome to AppleVis.
Look at how fast that is.
Users of Apple's range of computers, the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Apple TV, and Apple Watch. AppleVis strives to empower the community by offering multiple pathways to relevant and useful information.
That's insane. That is insane how fast that is. I'll pause it again. The other thing that I will say is that once you do land on a good image and it is starting to read, the other thing that you have to be sure to do is to try to keep your hand steady. That's why this is especially not the mode that you want if you're going to read something long. Again, it's called short text, so like a business card, a label. Maybe you're looking through your mail and you want to look at the top left corner to see who something is from, to see if it's junk mail or if it's important. There's all kinds of little things like that. But if you want to do the longer stuff, so we're going to do this iPad thing again because, again, I don't keep much paper around my apartment. Everything I do, pretty much bills and everything is electronic. So I don't keep a lot of letters and stuff around or books. So we'll go document. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to center it.
Hold steady.
So let's see what it does here. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so what it does is it kind of combines the live view, it kind of combines your field of view report and taking the actual picture of KNFB Reader and, say, oh, top left corner not visible. You heard that, and I just shifted it a little bit, and then it says hold steady, so you get about a second or two, and then, boom, you got it. So because this is for longer documents, once it snaps the picture, it puts you into this document view here, which is navigatable or navigable, however you say it, with VoiceOver. I can use standard VoiceOver commands, explore by touch or rotor gestures or whatever. So let's start at the top.
Empowering blind and low vision users of.
I'm going to do a 2-finger flick down and see what we got.
Empowering blind and low vision users of Apple products and related applications. Row 1, column 1. Table start. 2 rows, 3 columns. AppleVis. Row 1, column 1. Login/register. Row 1, column 3. Submit content at forum, blog, podcast.
It actually recognizes tables too?
Guides. Row 2, column 2. Hardware reviews. Row 2.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't try that before.
Vision users of Apple's range of Mac computers. The iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Apple TV, and Apple Watch. AppleVis strives to
look at how accurate that is too.
And share relevant and useful information. As a community, we seek to encourage and support people in exploring the many ways in which Apple products and related applications can offer opportunities to the vision impaired for personal enrichment, independence, and empowerment. AppleVis also offers resources and mechanisms for raising awareness. So
that's really good. Let's go down a ways.
Getting started with your first Mac, iOS. Trending posts, heading up, seeing AI, doll. Yaz _flag G, 16 got 100 days in the fair, odds. Trending site sex.
Okay, so there's some kind of garbage at the bottom, but again, I was like taking it kind of at an angle. I was like a few feet away from an iPad. I mean, I'm doing this taking a picture of an iPad screen. If I was just taking a picture of like a piece of paper, like I said, that was still really good. And I've tried, at work, I've done a lot of just scanning of different things, and it's done a pretty darn good job. So people are saying, okay, if this is free, why would I want Text Grabber or Prismo Go or KNFB Reader? My answer to that is don't discount those just because something new comes out. Like, is this cool? Does it work well? Yeah, it does. But here's the thing. When you're doing the short text, that seems to be local. That seems to be on your device. But when you're doing the document scan here, that I believe is in the cloud. So, it uploads it and then it does something and then it brings it back down to you really quickly. So, if you don't have good internet, if you are concerned about, personal or private data, you don't want that going up and, I don't know, for however reason being intercepted. There's that kind of thing with privacy and security, that kind of stuff. When you use KNFB Reader, for instance, it is all on your device. You don't need internet, you don't need data, you don't need anything. So you can just take a picture, you can save it, you can organize it. So you have those types of advantages with KNFB Reader. I will still be using KNFB Reader quite a bit. I still really love the app. But again, for free, this works really, really well. And I got to play with it a little bit more because now I want to play with this with some more documents that have tables, because I just learned that it seems like it might even do that. And another thing that I've noticed is that when you're doing a scan, it even tries to put in, like if it notices things are bigger, it puts them in as headings. Like I've actually been able to, I've scanned something and it said like heading level 1 or heading level 2. Like it says, oh, well, this is like, X bigger than the body of the text. So yeah, we'll make it a larger heading, and this is bigger but not quite as big, so we're leaving it as a smaller heading. There's little subtleties at that it's doing also pretty well, which I really appreciate. So that is, you've got your short text and your documents. Let's back out of that.
Menu button. Channel document product.
Now let's do product. This is pretty cool too. So remember when I said barcodes? Apps like Digitize are cool, but I know a lot of people, especially if you're totally blind, have been having some trouble because you got to be really, you got to be like right on to get that accuracy for that barcode to be recognized. This one, I don't know how they're processing it, but it's really good. Like I'm going to I have a few different things over here. No, I don't want it to, okay, I'm going to purposely, okay, there's no barcode here. We got a big old, if you can see, we've got a big old container, a round container. So there's no beeps. I'm slowly turning it. It sees something.
Processing. Not recognized.
Okay, I think it found, I think it actually found another barcode that's on here somewhere. I don't know, because it found it before when I tried this. Let's back out of this again and let's turn it again. Sometimes there is like a
Jive peanut butter creamy.
What? Holy Lord. Okay, so that's impressive. So like what'll happen is sometimes like they'll put a sticker on something and it'll have a store barcode, but it's not actually the product barcode. So you can run into that on occasion. So if it's not recognized, you can still try to look for another barcode. But I think it's looking at, see the little barcode on the right? It's a round can of container of peanut butter. Jif creamy peanut butter. It says down the bottom.
Jive peanut butter creamy.
Well, it says Jife, but anyway. But that barcode is literally like a quarter of it is actually visible. Like my hand is right next to it. It's not even fully in view. and based on the pattern it got it. That's damn impressive. I don't care. That's pretty amazing. Now on the bottom you also have,
Share.
so I could share that, which I don't know why I would, but whatever.
More info.
And I can get more info.
More info. Dried peanut butter.
So this isn't really going to tell me much, but I will show you a package that does.
Dried creamy peanut butter. 7G protein per serving. See nutrition information for fat and saturated content. Proud sponsor. Non-GMO star gluten-free.
So not much information on this one, but again, Digitize would do something similar. But yeah, wow. I mean, look at it. Like, I'm going to do this peanut butter again one more time because
processing. Dried peanut butter creamy.
like now the full barcode is in view. It's even got the camera flash glare on it. But I mean, like I said, now it's dead in view, but like it was, if you could see the video, like it was hardly there at all on that last picture that I took. That is dang impressive. So let's do something else. I got a couple other products here. These are really good, by the way. But I will wait. So listen, there's no beeps. So apparently there's no barcode here. I'm going to move it around just to make sure that it gets the different corners. Nope, I don't hear any beep. This side? Nope. How about here? Nope. Okay. How about here? No. How about the bottom?
Processing. Betty Crocker artificial flavored cheddar and baking potatoes. 5.1
Again, it didn't even have, like, it didn't even go from slow to fast. It went and it was done. The picture, the barcode is at an angle. It's not even straight on. It's like half, it's probably at a, I don't know, 70-degree angle, something like that, facing down. I mean, it's in good view, but yeah, it works. So let's go.
Betty Crocker artificial flavored cheddar and baking potatoes. 5.1 ounces.
Cheddar and bacon potatoes. They're basically like these scallop potatoes. They're cheddar and bacon flavored. And like what I do is I take some ground beef or ground pork, fry that up, and then make these. Good stuff. Now if I go to the more info in the lower right button here.
More info. Betty Crocker artificial flavored cheddar and baking potatoes. 5.1 ounces. Heading level 2.
So again, okay, heading level 2. And I can, again, this is just a regular text area, so I can use any kind of voiceover gestures I want. I can flick to the right.
You will need 1/3 cups boiling water, 1/3 cup milk, 2 tablespoons margarine or butter. Oven directions: 1. Heat oven to 450 F. Stir sauce mix.
So I get oven directions, I get stove directions. It tells you right up top what you will need. You need butter and milk and water. And then it gives you the instructions. I usually make it via the stove top, but you can do it oven or stove. So there you go. You get your kind of cooking instructions. So a lot of the stuff that you have to prepare, maybe you do a frozen pizza. How long do you put it in the oven? How long or how high do you turn the oven on? Very cool stuff. I think I got one more product I can do here. All right, where are you? Okay, nothing here. But
processing. Doritos tortilla chips, nacho cheese flavored.
And that's exactly what they are. Doritos tortilla chips, nacho cheese flavored. Indeed they are. Little app. All right, so there you go. I did a bag. I did a round container. I did a box. It's worked really well. Now again, it would be kind of cool if it didn't find a barcode. Now there was, interestingly, you don't have to just do it with food, but when I tried this earlier, it didn't work. Let's try it one more time. Let's see. Let's try this here.
Processing. Empty box only. Nintendo Switch Zelda Breath of the Wild Special Edition game.
Okay, hey, this time it actually found it. Okay, so maybe I was just having connectivity issues earlier. Okay, so now I didn't get food, I got...
Empty box only. Nintendo Switch Zelda Breath of the Wild Special Edition game.
I don't know why it said empty box only, because it is actually the game, but it is Nintendo Switch.
Empty box only. Nintendo Switch Zelda Breath of the Wild Special Edition game.
Nintendo Switch Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So yeah, you can use this for your barcode.
More info. Dimmed.
No, more info. There's nothing there, so it's dimmed. But yeah, I mean, you can use it for CDs or DVDs or whatever, you know. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So there's your barcode channel, or your product channel, as it were.
Channel, product, person.
Person. Now here's the fun part. So this is where you can recognize people. If you don't do the face recognition, it'll just say, oh, this, you know, one person, whatever. But then you can take a picture of that person, it'll tell more information about it. But I've put myself in here, so if I turn the camera to face me, ow.
Face near bottom right, 1 foot away. Jesse, your center, 0 faces. Jesse, your right edge, 1 foot away.
Jesse, so it found me. Like literally, as soon as I turned it, it would switch over to me. So there you go. It found me. Now, again, I don't have anyone else to do this. You know, like I don't live with anybody here, so I can't show you anyone else. However, I was curious, partially for the video and just in general, could I teach seeing AI to recognize someone from pictures alone? The answer to that is yes, you can. What I did is I did a Google image search at work on my work computer, and I did a search. I couldn't think of anyone. Eventually, oh, okay, yeah, let's do Sheldon Cooper. I just thought of Big Bang for some reason. So I did a search for that. I found 3 different, you know, obviously it came back with like hundreds or thousands of results. I took 3 pictures that were, you know, pretty much dead on, but different pictures, different scenes. And I took a picture of them, 3 different pictures. And then I went to a 4th or 5th picture after I had recognized, after I entered the person in. And then, let me fire up ye old iPad here. So we have our other tab, but I'm going to switch
One face near bottom right, 4 feet away.
to this. Now watch this.
Sheldon Cooper near center, 5 feet away.
Sheldon Cooper. If I go to the left.
2 faces. 1 face near center, 5 feet away.
So I didn't recognize her. It doesn't know Amy yet. I didn't train it to recognize Amy, but
Sheldon Cooper near center, 4 feet away.
there you go, Sheldon Cooper. I taught it, so now if I were to go to any other scene or any other picture, as soon as it focuses on him,
Sheldon Cooper near right edge,
Sheldon Cooper. There you go,
Sheldon Cooper near
boom.
center, 4 feet away.
Now here's the funny part. Now this is all live. If I double tap the screen with him in focus,
Picture button. Take picture. Menu 0 face processing.
oops.
No people could be detected.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot and I did it too fast. Let's do that
Sheldon Cooper, top
again.
right, 4 feet away.
You got
Take
my
picture,
hand.
button. Take picture. 1 face near top edge, 4. Take picture. Menu button processing. No people could be detected.
Okay, I might have to turn the flash off.
0 faces. Sheldon Cooper near center, 5 feet away. Take picture button. Take picture. Menu processing. 32-year-old man with black hair looking neutral.
All right, this sort of. Let me
Menu button. Menu button.
let me turn this flash off for now.
Settings button. Settings. Settings. Back. Manage lighting. Switch button. Off.
Off.
Back button. Back. Close. Close.
Close, and now it won't try to turn the.
Left edge, 2 faces.
All right, so
Take picture. Sheldon Cooper near center, 4. Take
all
picture.
right, let's
button.
take a picture of Sheldon again.
32-year-old man with brown hair looking neutral.
There we go. So that's okay. So that was pretty accurate. And let's see what happens when we take a picture of Amy. Come
1
on.
face near center, 4. Take picture button. Take picture button. Processing. 33-year-old man with brown hair wearing glasses looking neutral.
So 33-year-old man with glasses looking neutral?
33-year-old man with brown hair wearing glasses looking neutral.
So apparently, and it's funny, I've tried this before when I tried to record this video earlier, and it keeps thinking that Amy apparently is a man. So yeah, every single time too. So sometimes it gets gender wrong. Again, like I said, it's really funny because when I've tried taking a picture of myself, apparently I have amazing like mutant powers because I've done it like 6 or so times, and each time it's told me something different. I've been anywhere from 16 years old all the way up to 50 years old. Although averaging between 30 and 40, which would be accurate, but yeah, okay, so Amy's a dude, And so, yeah, that didn't work out quite well. But there you go. So I would argue that the person mode is kind of in beta. The live stuff works really well, like detecting how many people are in frame or detecting, like, if you've taught it to recognize somebody, that works really well. But when you actually double tap to take a picture, that identification stuff, age and gender and stuff like that, is a little sketchy. So let's do a picture of both of them.
Button. Two faces. Take picture. Button. Take picture. Processing. Two people detected. 33-year-old man with brown hair looking neutral. 35-year-old man with brown hair wearing glasses looking neutral.
Okay, they're both... All right, so we got a gay couple there. All right, fair enough. But yeah, not quite there yet, but, you know, again, version 1.0, they're working on it. So let's take a look at our last...
Sheldon Cooper near left edge. Sheldon Cooper near left edge over 14 feet away.
Jeez.
One channel, person, and Sheldon.
Oopsie,
Channel, person,
not what I
Justin,
meant.
Channel, zero faces. Channel, scene beta, channel, scene beta.
All right,
Justin.
so scene beta. Now, this is not live. This, I have to take a picture. So I'm going to
Menu, button. Menu, close.
go back in,
Face recognition. Feedback, button. Settings.
and I'm going to turn my
Settings. Manage lighting. Switch button.
manage lighting on because it is dark in here. I live in a cave, man. You know, I got my man cave here. I like it dark and cool. You know, my lair. So let's take a picture. Oh, I don't know, even though you can barely see it.
Take picture, button. Take picture. Menu, processing. Probably a cup of coffee sitting next to a computer mouse on a table.
Okay, so it thought the peanut butter was a cup of coffee, which is not right. And I've done this before. It keeps thinking that it doesn't recognize subtlety in, like, computer components. I have an Xbox One controller here, and it thinks it's a mouse every time. Which it totally isn't. But there's been some, like, I would say at best, it's been vague, and at worst, it's been very inaccurate. So this is definitely in beta. Yeah, it's definitely right to label it beta because... Let me take a picture of the drums up here.
Take picture, button. Take picture. Processing. Probably a cluttered desk with a computer on a table.
Huh? Wait, okay, a cluttered desk with a computer... See, that doesn't even make any sense. A cluttered desk with a computer on a table. That just doesn't even flow right, you know? Yeah. Let's go back.
Menu, button.
So if I take a picture of, I don't know, my recliner with my Vikings blanket draped over the back.
Take picture. Menu, processing. Probably a cat sleeping on a sofa.
That's an awful big cat. Okay, so yeah, it's this mode right now is not what I would call great. You know, again, they say right out, flat out that it is beta, and it definitely shows. Like I said, if you have not watched my video, I'm pretty sure I released it for you guys, that Identify app, IDENTIFI. That thing, I know that this scene mode here, I know that it can get better because I've already seen what Identify does. And it's really good. Like, I've been really impressed with what that brings back overall. And it's done some stuff that I wouldn't have even expected. So, yeah, I don't know where they're, you know, obviously they're probably pulling from different data sources. But, you know, the fact that it is beta, and I know it'll get better. So, I would say the text stuff, the short text and document modes, those are pretty great. The barcode, especially if you need that to identify, especially even compared to any other of these barcode apps, I would highly recommend the barcode reader because, like I said, you don't even barely have to have it in view and it figures it out. It's really good. The person stuff, the live mode is actually pretty good, but then when you double tap to take a picture and get details, a little sketchy right now. And then the scene, I'm not going to bother taking more pictures with that right now because it's kind of rough. Now, another thing that you can do, actually I haven't even tried it yet. Let's see if we can make this work.
Double tap to closing blindness folder. Blindness folder.
They say you can take pictures. You can take like a picture from your photo roll or something like that, and you can share it to Seeing AI, and then it'll supposedly identify it. But the problem is, if it is a picture, you're probably going to get the scene description, which means it's probably going to be the janky part of it. So let's go to my photography, photos,
collections, back button.
And let's grab a picture from my Iron Maiden concert. How about that?
June 16th, 8:38 p.m. Back button.
So here's a
Live photo, concert landscape, June 16th. Live photo, concert landscape, June 16th, 8. Live photo.
Okay,
concert,
so let's
live photo, concert,
go.
landscape, June 16th, 8. Delete button, edit button, favorite, switch button, share button.
Let's share.
Share. One photo selected. Cancel button.
And then
Mail button. iCloud photo sharing. Add to notes. Flickr button. Save PDF to iBook. More button. Activities.
Let's see.
iCloud photo sharing. Add to Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, Save Drive, Switch, Save PDF to iBooks. Drive, Switch, Wishlist, Switch button, OneDrive, Switch button, Red Circle, Send to Kindle, Red Circle, Switch button, off.
Huh?
LinkedIn, Switch button, Dropbox, Switch button,
God,
off.
there's so much crap on here.
Dropbox, LinkedIn, Switch, Send to Kindle, Switch button, off. Dropbox, Switch button,
Okay,
off.
apparently it's not under
Double tap
that
to
section.
Dropbox, done, button,
Done. Wait,
done, button, done. One photo select copy. Button.
let's go look at the
Travel.
bottom list here.
Duplicate button. Slideshow. Duplicate. Slideshow. Airplay. Hide button. Assign to contact button. Use as wallpaper. Print button. Add to iCloud Drive. More button.
More.
Activities. Heading. Air. Slideshow. Copy. Slide. Hide. Assign. Use as wallpaper. Print. Add to iCloud. Recognize with Seeing AI. Blue circle.
Okay.
Recognize with Seeing AI. Switch
Yeah.
button. On.
Let's okay, so I checked that, so now that'll be in my list.
Done. Button. Done. One photo selected. Cancel. Add to iCloud Drive. Recognize with Seeing AI. Button.
Let's do that.
Selected. Recognize. Processing. Scene. A man on stage with stage lights and an audience.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fair. Okay, man on stage with okay, that's fair.
Cancel button.
Let's do
St. Paul, downtown. June
one
16th, 8:38
more.
p.m. Live photo. Page 10, page 9, page 8 of 11.
I got a lot of concert photos.
Page 5 of 11.
I've been to quite a few concerts. All right, yeah, let's do some stuff from the CSUN area.
Photo, yacht, landscape, March, photo.
Okay, so let's share
Share button.
this picture of a big old yacht that I saw.
Button, hide button, drag assign to use as wallpaper, print, add to iCloud Drive, recognize with Seeing AI button.
Yeah, let's do that, shall we?
Hide description button.
Let's see what it says about this. Come on. It's thinking, apparently. Come on, you know you wanna. Not sure why this part takes so long. I don't know what it's doing. Unless it's uploading like a ginormously sized image. Like, I don't know what resolution or how big this photo is. Maybe it's freaking huge. I don't know. Well, I mean, it identified the concert photo, so I don't know why it's...
Scene, a large ship in the water.
Oh, it just didn't say it. Okay.
Hide description. Scene, a large ship in the water.
A large ship in the water. Fair enough. I mean, the built-in photo thing said yacht. For iOS told me that, but yeah.
Twitter, liked by Andrew Cole.
Okay, yeah, Twitter, be quiet. You know, again, I really wish I understood how Do Not Disturb works. I put Do Not Disturb, and I still get notifications. I still get interruptions. I don't get it, but whatever. Anyway, that is...
Close button.
Close.
Close. Back button.
That is Seeing AI. It is a free app currently available for iOS. Microsoft is working on an Android version. Don't know when that's going to be out, but they did acknowledge that yes, it is in development and it will be out here soonish, eventually. But it's got a lot of potential. Like I know a lot of the stuff that it does, other apps do already. But A, it's nice to do it in one package, and B, I think it does a few things really quickly and pretty accurately, and also does a few new things as well. And again, this type of tech with artificial intelligence, and then you look at what Apple's doing later this year with iOS 11 and augmented reality. And if we eventually, which I'm likely we're going to, get some kind of smart glasses that will tie into augmented reality and an app like Seeing AI, and again, not having, it's kind of like before you had a computer, and then, well, you didn't want to take your computer everywhere. Okay, well, now you can do it with a phone. Okay, well, now you're doing stuff with a smartwatch, or pretty soon maybe Google Glass it's out there, but it's not really all that much used anymore. But more smart glasses are coming, so not having to take the phone out of your pocket, but again, just doing a gesture or a couple of series of gestures where I could be out somewhere and I want to identify some text, or I want to identify a scene. I'm like, what is that way over there? Or this app could be, and again, they're adding to it. I forgot. I've recorded this like 2-3 times already. They're adding more to it. In the video, the launch video that they advertised the features, and one of the things that they showed was currency identification. And originally I was confused because I couldn't figure out how to make that work. Because I tried it in all these modes. I tried recognizing a bill and it didn't work. Turns out, okay, well, that is not yet in this version of the app, but it is coming soon. So presumably you're going to be able to have additional channels for different additional tasks. So that's going to be pretty cool. Aside from currency, who knows what they're going to add? I don't know. Currency is really the only one that I know of right now. But yeah, if they can improve the scene stuff and some of the maybe some of the, at least the gender, gender and age stuff, like, I don't know how useful, like, I think like the facial expressions is maybe more key, because, again, people want to know, they want to read the room, like, if you're giving a presentation, or, you're just talking with someone, like, am I rambling on about something you don't care about? Or am I going way over your head? Or are you totally into it? Should we talk about this for another 10 minutes, That stuff is interesting, but like guessing someone's age, I guess I can see, like, if you're looking for someone, all you're told is like, oh, there's a guy waiting for you at the airport or whatever. I don't know. There's probably uses for it, but that stuff will take off. That'll get a little better. But yeah, for a 1.0 release, and frankly, I can't believe they're giving this away for free. Part of me is glad for that. Yes, it's a win for blind and visually impaired for sure. But that, another good reason they're doing this is not just for the blind and visually impaired. That's a good piece of it. But, they're also doing it to strengthen their image technology, their artificial intelligence, all that kind of cloud computing stuff. They're actually, this is a good practical use for that type of technology. But like, as far as free versus paid, the thing is, I'm glad that it's free in a way, but I kind of almost wish that they charged maybe $10-20 for it, just for the fact that I do think, granted, Microsoft has a boatload of money and probably can afford to release it for free, especially for what they're getting out of it. But, especially for these apps that, like, Identify, that's, I think, made by a small group of people or one person. I don't know. But at any rate, like, stuff that works really well, you really want to charge for it, because, again, you're going to run out of, if you want to keep building on it, updating it and the maintenance and all that kind of stuff, you really want to be able to get something out of it. And that's why you're seeing, I've talked about this in other recent videos, but that's why you're seeing some of these apps and games go away, because, they hit the floor so quickly that no one's really able to pay, or no one's really willing to pay for anything. And you kind of expect everything for free. And, obviously I don't see this going away, but, yeah, I could see this being worth paying for as well. Get people used to just, I'm supposed to get everything for free, But I've talked about that enough other times, so we're going to wrap it up here. That is Seeing AI, available for free in the iOS App Store, coming to Android at some point. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm definitely I love it so far. I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm very interested to see what this is like. Should I be able to pair it with some glasses at some point? But hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. And until next time, I will chat with you guys again later.